What's up, Internet? This is Evan, Techley's resident Yankee, and we're here today for the first part in our two-piece Call of Duty Advanced Warfare review. Today's section will focus on the single-player content, and tomorrow will be all about the multiplayer, but you should totally watch them both. We all know the Call of Duty series has about as many haters as it does hardcore fans. It's easy to hate on anything so popular, let alone a yearly FPS series from an icky company like Activision. And while you can rip on the Big A and its team of developers for putting out the same game year over year, let's be honest, they must be doing something right or people wouldn't buy them. Thus we have Advanced Warfare, the latest entry in the Call of Duty franchise and the series' second or third excursion into a futuristic setting. The soldiers in this year's model bounce around on jet-powered boost packs, use high-tech weaponry like enemy tagging grenades and invisible sniper drones, and destroy the opposition with the help of so-called exosuits, which give them powers far beyond those us civilian scrubs could ever hope to have. In fact, those additions represent perhaps the biggest change for the franchise in years. While other entries in the series, most notably last year's Ghost, have sported a chub for the near-future warfare stuff, this one's world is so far removed from our own it's easy to forget you're playing a Call of Duty game at times. Emphasis on at times. The developers behind the title clearly knew what they were making and who they were making it for when they made Advanced Warfare. Well, it's gotta be hard not to leave your own personal mark on such a storied franchise. The whole minor additions to popular formula works very well this time around. The gunplay is solid as ever, with tons of imaginative options and attachments made possible by the futuristic setting. The story takes similar creative liberties, putting you in a world where paramilitary corporations run the show and Kevin Spacey is your boss. And the action sequences, while totally implausible, are some of the best to grace any game ever. Whether you're leaping from bus to bus with the help of magnetized gloves or racing on a hoverbike away from murderous helicopters, a huge percentage of the game can be summed up with a single word: wow. Your exosuit ties all this crazy action together, giving you abilities Bruce Wayne would be jealous of. I'm particularly fond of the grappling hook, which lets you zip from point to point and even pull enemies in for a quick murder in, though extra abilities like boost jumping and a time-slowing skill called overdrive are also pretty sweet. Better yet, Advanced Warfare allows you to upgrade some of those abilities. The game gives you points for completing certain challenges, like killing X number of bad guys, or killing X number of bad guys with headshots, which can then be spent between rounds. As long as you don't expect MMO-style talent trees here, you should be pretty surprised with the addition. Since I suck at the game, for instance, I dumped most of my points into skills that increased my vitality or made it easier to aim. Like I said up top, this is still a Call of Duty game. If you didn't like the series before, this one isn't going to do much to change your mind. In the end, it's still all about one group of meatheads blowing up another group, except this time they have robot suits and shit. If, on the other hand, you've never really cared about the series one way or the other, I'd strongly advise you to at least give this one a rental. The story alone might not be worth the cost of admission, but it's a heck of a lot of fun, especially if you're a sucker for big-time action sequences like I am. To put this all another way, the folks behind Advanced Warfare didn't reinvent the wheel this time, but only because they didn't have to. If Activision and Co. release the same game every year, it's a pretty decent one, and the high-tech additions are certainly enough to keep the franchise feeling fresh for another year. Be sure to check out our look at Advanced Warfare's multiplayer tomorrow. Until then, I'm Evan Wade reporting for Techley, and I'm straight up terrible at first-person shooters on consoles.